So, self-love is the practice of showing kindness and compassion, right, to ourselves, especially when we're facing challenges or when there's difficulties that arise in our life. And we do champion many of those things as positive changes on the self-love journey. Some things like improved mental health and emotional health, and that involves what self-love that helps you cope with stress. It helps you cope with depression, helps you cope with or helps you navigate other issues related to mental health. And that could include things like reducing your self-criticism, increasing the acceptance of yourself. We also talk about boosting your self-esteem and boosting your confidence and experiencing contentment and happiness just in general in life. Now, these benefits, they even extend to our physical health, right? Because we talk about being motivated to take better care of our body by eating better, by getting into exercise or body movement, making sure that we get enough sleep, and avoiding alcohol, drugs, and other harmful substances, or at least reducing those things in our life. But then we also proceed to talk about how all of those things contribute to strengthening our immune system, right? And lowering our risks of chronic diseases or possibly adding years to our life experience, right? Increasing our quality of life physically, where health is your wealth. But don't forget the people that we're surrounded by. We attribute self-love as something that we can continue to talk about, attracting and contributing to maintaining healthy and supportive relationships as well. Relationships that we have with other people, and how it encourages us to connect with and or explore spirituality and investigate our feelings about our existence, right? Who we are and how did we come to be this person. We do go through setting boundaries, learning how to identify and communicate our needs as well. And that includes respecting ourselves and everyone that we come into contact with. And it would be more than an oversight if we failed to mention healing from past traumas as well, and being able to break free from toxic or abusive patterns, not just other people's behavior, but our own behavior. Now, I don't disagree that all of those things that I just mentioned can bring about a positive change in your life, right? It definitely brought about a positive change in my life. But I think we failed to honestly address the pain that comes with this transformative experience in our lives. Now, in fact, or as a matter of fact, at the onset of my conversation with individuals, some people express fear attached to going through this transformation or experiencing these changes, because the disruption in their current situation and disruption in their habits, it starts to cause a little bit of worry, or they become a little bit uneasy about the unknown, what's not known, right? Or what possible reactions will come with those changes, not just from themselves, but from the other people in their environment. So for every action, we know that there is a reaction, right? And depending on how many people we're connected to, there can be multiple chains of reactions, leading all back to one focal point, us. And this is before we even recognize internalized negative beliefs or messages managed or ignored as far back as childhood even. And we can't forget that we're including our own ability to resist or sabotage our own growth and happiness, right? So we're trying to do all those things without adding external opinions before those thoughts even come about, before those things are even shared with us. So although the self-love journey is a transformative one that only involves improvement and changing things about ourselves, It also means affecting change with the people we interact with. So it's like this domino effect. And the environments that we choose to continue operating in are also directly or indirectly affected. And while the many benefits of our personal growth, whatever innovation there is, and whatever social progress we make are realized on this journey, transformation also definitely involves some struggles that are normal, and they're struggles that don't need to be hidden or drowned in positive slogans or affirmations. Okay, it's just part of the experience. I like to talk about self-compassion up front because from the very beginning, there are things that you will need to be forgiving about. Why is that? Because we're definitely conditioned that negative or undesirable feelings don't equal progress or success in our lives. So I want to discuss 4 undesirable feelings that are absolutely normal, but they often are seen as failure on the self-love journey. The first one is our resistance to change. It's definitely normal to be reluctant or afraid to change your habits, any of your beliefs or behaviors, because those things are familiar to us. And there is comfort in going with the status quo or just sticking with the status quo. And we fear the unknown or the possible risks or losses that come with that change. So for me, overcoming this resistance to change caused me to evaluate my level of control and try to remember that every day when I wake up, I really only control my choices, my actions, and I also have the opportunity to control whether I'm receptive or resistive to people and everything in my environment. So practicing self-care always allowed me to challenge and kind of reframe my thoughts and be able to seek support and guidance as I felt it was necessary. I also had to come to an understanding that new cycles were entering my life, and I found some comfort in understanding how these new cycles contributed to moving the dial forward for me versus keeping me stuck in a reality that I did not completely enjoy. Okay, this included being open to the way that other people experience life as well, and knowing that I don't need to give approval or agree with how they live their life. Okay, the second thing is our lack of clarity or direction. For me, we may not always have a clear vision or a clear goal for what we want to achieve, or even how we want to transform it. Maybe not even our plan or strategy is something that may not be realistic as we imagined, the boat to get there. Okay. So for me, overcoming this meant that I needed to try to better define my purpose and values. Things became much more clear when that happened for me. And those SMART goals, being able to have something that's specific and measurable, but something that's also relevant to my goals and a time frame. This way, I can break down my actions into smaller, manageable steps. The third thing that may be undesirable is like having lack of resources. Sometimes we feel like we don't have the necessary resources or skills to support our transformation. This could be like time or money, knowledge, tools, and even mentors, because sometimes we forget about mentors. I definitely tried tackling this hurdle by prioritizing my tasks and building up my resources. That way I would be able to allocate a budget to learn new things, and learning new things also included how to leverage technology, because that's the age that we're living in. I also used that budget to network with others, people who could help me on my transformative journey. One of my major investments was with VIP Ignite, not just because they're on the cutting edge and setting trends in their industry, but also because they have genuine connections that they have already developed to authentic individuals who are currently keyword is currently working in the industry, right? So they're able to update you on what's going on and what the current practices are. Their expertise happens in real time, and the VIP Ignite also opens up opportunities for you to utilize the skills and techniques that are being shared with you. So the things that you're learning, you're able to use them then. And not only are you using them, they're providing feedback right there on the spot, which brings me to my fourth fear, having that lack of feedback or evaluation. Sometimes we may not have a way to measure our progress or our outcomes, and we may not receive the constructive feedback or that recognition from others. But what's important to remember is you can establish metrics and indicators, tools that you can use. And now that AI is available, learning how to use that would be imperative. And that way you can document your results and keep track. You can also ask for feedback from others, people that you don't know, okay? And then also being able to celebrate your achievements. That's those SMART goals. So transformation is not always easy, but it's definitely possible, and it can be a rewarding experience. By acknowledging and addressing the potential struggles, you can increase your chances of success and your chances of satisfaction as well, happiness. So if you're one of those people who fear change, okay, because I've definitely had that feeling, there's a couple of tips you can use to overcome it, okay? One is acknowledging and accepting your fear. Instead of trying to deny or avoid the fear, try to face it head on and understand, where is the fear coming from? Be gentle and compassionate with yourself. Again, I always talk about compassion first, because you're going to need that along your journey every step of the way. And remind yourself that fear is something that is normal and something that is natural. And it's a natural emotion that everyone experiences, right? Try to check your evidence, though. 2, you can challenge and reframe your thoughts. That's the evidence. Identify and question the negative or irrational thoughts that fuel your fear, right? That's pushing those emotions towards you, such as, I can't do this, or I don't deserve this, or this is going to ruin everything. Replace those thoughts and those statements with something more positive, something more realistic, okay? It could be, I can learn and grow from this, remembering that you are worthy of whatever you are achieving, remembering that this experience opens up new opportunities for yourself. So you want to take small and gradual steps. That's one thing you want to do too. Instead of making these big drastic changes and all of a sudden you're doing it, try to break down your goals into these smaller, manageable steps that you can track and celebrate that progress along the way. You're doing that because it definitely helps you build confidence, and it's going to help you build momentum. This is going to also reduce your stress, reduce the anxiety that comes with these changes that you're making in your life. Never forget to seek support and guidance. I know sometimes we feel like we're on an island by ourselves, but we don't have to go through change alone. That's something that I had to learn. We can reach out to friends and family if that's available to you, or other trusted people. And sometimes we have to make new networks of individuals who can offer us emotional and practical support. I first found mine online when I started working with the Unapologetic Empire, and make sure that you're receiving that encouragement and that feedback. I mean, you can also seek professional help too, from therapists and coaches and mentors when you need assistance, or if you need more expertise. You want to work with the people who are doing it the best. Self-love is definitely powerful, and it's a transformative type of practice. And it's something that changes your life for the better. It does, even though these things are kind of uncomfortable. So don't let fear stop you from embracing and enjoying the benefits of self-love, of that journey. You definitely deserve to be happy. You definitely deserve to be healthy. Health is your wealth. And you have the potential to achieve your dreams. Like, don't let anyone get in the way of that potential. Sometimes it doesn't happen in the time that we want it to happen. But being consistent is something that is very important. Antoinette Stratton, I met through VIP Ignite. And one thing that stuck in my head that she said is we often stop right before the moment happens, right? And there's even a meme out there that shows that same thing. The man, he's digging and he gives up, but it's right there. Just a couple more digging, it just would have helped. So sometimes we have this picture in our mind of how we think things should go. And if it doesn't go that way, then we haven't made any progress. And so therefore we negate everything and all the actions that we have done, right? Because those actions haven't culminated into the picture, right? But we shouldn't do that. We need to make sure that, again, you are celebrating those steps that you've taken, because now you've moved from that comfort zone, right? Now you established a new comfort zone, and that's the I still haven't made it yet, right? So you're already in this flow of consistency. Now it's time to say, okay, is there anything that needs to change? We're constantly asking these questions, constantly going through this transformative progress, whether it be something that you're trying to achieve in your career, or if it's just something that you're trying to achieve as far as personal growth. We're constantly looking at that process and being innovative and making new moves, okay? So there's never this place of complacency. And sometimes people think of that as working hard, but it doesn't mean that either. It just means being active in that process, if that makes any sense. So if you're feeling like you failed because you haven't reached the goal that you imagined, don't forget to look back. Sometimes it is okay. It's definitely okay to look back and reflect. That's why we write our goals down, right? Not only does it have, science has shown that there's a different effect that happens when you write things down and how you take it in, right? And so we have that as a record of where we started. Sometimes we forget, hey, this is where I started. I started with this bucket of fear. I'm not really sure what was going on. And now, as I've been consistent working through these smaller, manageable tasks, now what I had a vision of is not just this big picture, but I have worked out some details, right? And I have some actions that I've completed, some actions that I still need to complete. And so when we have that plan written down, we're able to go there and we're able to see that progress. And then we're able to celebrate those achievements. We don't have to wait until the big picture is done, all right? So if you are working on you and you are working towards your goal, then you're already a winner, because there was a point when you weren't. There was a point when you thought this could never happen. There was a point when you thought there was no reason for you to do anything. There was no reason for you to make a move. And that's not your thought now. You are now in action, okay? Moving, making moves. So your transformation is happening. Don't get discouraged that it's not happening how you imagine. So keep up the good work. I hope this is something that I have to tell myself all the time. And so people say, why do you even do the videos? I like the videos because I was a person that I didn't have that. I really didn't know how to check in with me. I really didn't know if I was doing well or wasn't doing well. And there were a lot of points in my journey where I just felt like, this was a waste of time, or this was a waste of money. This was a waste of effort. And for some reason, I definitely want to keep going. Well, I know what the reason was, I definitely have my girls, and I want them to know that they can achieve whatever it is they want to achieve. And so for me, in order to prove that, then I have to do it myself, right? I can't just be talking about it. They say that those who can't do, they teach, but I just didn't feel that I wanted to be that person. I wanted to be the person who actually experienced it and able to speak from a place that was real and authentic, and saying, like, when I say that you can, I know that you can, and I know that you can from personal experience. So don't give up. Keep checking along. Keep doing your thing.